Hey, Old Fly Guy Network. This is the Old Fly Guy here, and today we're at Waltrip Executive Airport in Williamsburg. And we're really a windy day here, but we're waiting for a special arrival. Cliff Andrews is bringing his steerman up this way, and he's going to stop in and say hello to us on his way all the way from the Dallas area up to Nashua. So he's got a long last couple of days. He's had a few problems along the way, and we're going to hopefully get a chance to talk to him and hear how the flight's been going, what's next to get from here up to Nashua over the next couple of days. He's with Operation High Flight is his organization. It's a charitable organization that works with veterans and children and students to inspire them to get into aviation and help some veterans have some different opportunities to get up in the plane and take some flights with him. So stay with us. This plane, how did you acquire it, and where's it going, or where did it come? Tell us that story.
So this airplane, it's kind of an evolution. So my first airplane that I had after getting out of the Air Force was a Warner Sportster, so a low wing monoplane open cockpit aircraft.
I've seen pictures of it. It's a red one.
Yep. And when I got that, I didn't want to just have an airplane to have an airplane. I wanted to have an airplane to be able to give back. So I went to my pastor and I asked him, I said, hey, what are some things we can do? And so we kind of racked our brains. And what we came up with initially was to put Christmas presents in the front seat and then go around and deliver Christmas presents. And then I remembered we live in New England, so that's probably not going to work. So raffled and auctioned the flights off, and the money would then go to charities and so forth. And so we did that. But last summer, my friend and I we're talking. We're like, you know what? There's a lot more we could do with the bigger types of airplanes like this to have more impact on the community. And so decided to stand up as a formal nonprofit on the 1st of August. My friend made basically a Kickstarter program. He made a big stock gift to our nonprofit. We then in turn sold those stocks and then used that money to then go buy the airplane. So the airplane is in an LLC, but it falls under our nonprofit.
And that's Operation
High Flight. Operation High Flight. Yeah. So Operation High Flight, as I said, we wanted to have more impact, but the best way to do that is to kind of focus our efforts. So we're focusing on veterans and first responders, children's hospital patients, and inner city youth. And for those veterans and first responders, it's those who are dealing with mental health issues. And we're not in a position to vet the vets, so we partner with other veteran service organizations who then nominate ride recipients.
Active airfield.
Yep. Who then nominate the ride recipients, and then we will fly them complimentary. For the children's hospital patients, we have flown one, but most of the children's hospital patients may not be able to fly.
Okay.
Because of their medical conditions. It could be compromised immune systems. It could be tethered to machines and so forth. That said, we're going to bring an experience to them. And that's where the Maryland Air Guard comes in, which was going to be our next stop, but we had some delays with maintenance and weather. So we'll come back again in May to support them. But anyhow, so the Maryland Air Guard back in September just retired the last of their A-10s. So I cold called the ops group commander. I said, hey, do you have any part task trainers, any of the egress trainers, the cockpits that you're willing to part ways with? He says, I have not one, but two that I'm willing to donate. Wow. So what our plan is we're taking that A-10 cockpit, which has all the switches and dials. It's an inanimate object, but it has all the switches and dials in the seat and everything. We remove and replace the stick and throttle, replace it with the Thrustmaster Warthog PC stick and throttle, which you can buy
right,
off Amazon. Has the exact same look and feel, fit and mold of the actual A-10. That goes in, and then a VR headset and a high-end gaming desktop. And then, so we're now taking what you can build at home, but now merging that with a real A-10 cockpit and building a high-fidelity flight simulator. That then goes into the trailer that we can drive to Boston Children's Hospital or Chad Pediatric out in Lebanon, New Hampshire, or the VA Manchester Hospital and also VA Jamaica Plain. So we're bringing the experience to them. So the reason why we're also doing the VA hospitals is because, like, for example, I have one of my friends, Bob Smith, as I said, just turned 97 years old. Bob has broken his hips not once, but 3 times. And after his 3rd time, and we broke him out of rehab, we went to his place, and we were celebrating with bourbon with our 97-year-old friend. And I said,
sounds
Bob,
like a good mission.
Hey, you know, hey, Band of Brothers.
Yeah.
So I told Bob, I was like, man, you got to keep doing your PT at the house because I need you to be able to lift that leg up to get into the cockpit so I can go fly you this spring. Now, if I have to literally pick Bob up to put him in, I'll do that. But we can't do that for everybody. And so by having that simulator, that gives us an ability to accommodate more. Wow. And the last one is for the inner city youth. So our Pals in the Sky program, we've got our 3rd class Monday. PAL is the Police Athletic League. So Nashua PAL, they use the athletics not as the why, that's the hook. The why is to mentor kids, at-risk kids. And many of them have food insecurity. They may not have a safe and stable place to be able to do homework after school. This gives them that environment. It also allows the volunteers and the police to be able to come mentor these kids. So our Pals in the Sky program, aviation's not the why, it's the hook. The why is to give back. And I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have mentors when I was a kid. So this is our opportunity to give back for them. And for those who continue the program and those who are old enough to fly, they're going to go fly in the Stearman with us too. Or the A-10 if they're not.
So it came from Asheville, right?
This airplane, Williamsburg, Colonial Williamsburg, little known fact. Did you know this airplane actually flew in the Revolutionary War?
What?
No, I can't.
You had him going. I was thinking about dragging on that too. So tell us, you're on your way. You came from, where did you start again?
Today I started, well, the trip started back in San Marcos, Texas.
Okay.
And let's see, the first night, we had some maintenance delays getting out of there. First night went into Monroe, Louisiana after multiple stops.
Yeah.
And then after that, made it to Gainesville, Georgia the next day. Had a couple of maintenance delays getting out of there as well. And then one stop into Asheville. And then spent the night, ordered parts, aircraft spruce, got them out overnight, put those back in, got airborne today, and so took off this morning from Asheville. And so we're here, and I think next stop is going to be Salisbury, Maryland.
Okay.
And then after that, should be able to make it back home after a few more stops.
Beautiful shot over the Chesapeake Bay this evening. That's going to be really cool. And
Wade was filling me in on some of your maintenance issues, but you worked through all those, I guess. And
Yeah, we worked through them all. We had one of them, most of them are minor issues, like gas escalators, right?
Yeah.
So That gasculator right up there,
Yeah.
stuck. Cycled it probably about 20 times, no luck. Still continued to drip. Ended up pulling it. My job was to be the little Dutch boy. Well, my friend Ray Clausen from the Central Texas wing of the Commemorative Air Force, I couldn't have done it without him, because there's a lot of things I can do. I'm not really good at fixing airplanes. But anyhow, so he got that up there and got me on my way. So slight delay, about an hour and a half, but my goal was to make it to Jackson, Mississippi, but made it to Monroe, Louisiana, so no big deal.
And the interesting thing is, we were all this set aside, despite all the challenges, you made it here. You're going to make it home safe. And I know you had we were going to be up in Martin State.
Yep.
And going to visit with another one of your events up there, and it's not going to happen this time. But you've already told me that we're going to be up there on May 2nd.
May 2nd, yeah.
So we're going to be heading up there on May 2nd, and what is that? Kind of frame that up, because that's kind of will be a typical stop for you, right? Once you get it up and running.
Yeah, so that is in payment for the Maryland Air Guard for their donation of that A-10 cockpit.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're taking airmen up on incentive rides. The wing has nominated the airmen who are going to fly with us. Many of those airmen, some of them are maintenance, former A-10 maintainers. Some of them are life support, aircraft, aircrew flight equipment. There's multiple different career fields, but many of those those airmen are now cross-training from their primary AFSC, Air Force Specialty Code, to cyber or intel, because their mission for the wing has completely changed.
Okay.
That said, we're given incentive rides for those airmen who have been outstanding in their units. But that's also a way for us to give back to them in payment for that A-10 cockpit, which we will then be able to carry forward for the veterans and also those children's hospital patients.
And when you get up there, I know you sent me pictures. I've seen pictures of the hangar where you're going to be and have all this set up, and that's going to be kind of your home base for Operation High Flight?
It is, yeah. So we've got it's a 3,900 square foot hangar, great location.
Is it at the Nashua Airport?
It's at Nashua. Okay. It's right next to the walk-in gate.
Okay.
So it's got great security for us to be able to maintain line of sight on that. It's a 3,900 square foot hangar with maintenance space. I've got 2 offices in there. We'll be able to keep our A-10 simulator in there when we're not trucking it around. We're also getting a C-130 simulator from the Maryland, or from the Missouri Air Guard, AATTC, the Advanced Airlift Tactics Training Center, and the U.S. Air Force Weapons School. They just graduated their last of their C-130H weapons school classes last summer. They have 2 MMCTs. It's a multi-mission crew trainer flight simulators that are not being used, and they're donating those to us as well. And so we'll be getting that set up in our hangar, and that will also be able to augment our Aviation 101 course, the Pals in the Sky, plus those individuals who are able to come to us, because obviously that C-130 sim is not going to be
towed around. Right. Wow, great! Just such a great mission, and I had the pleasure of flying with Mike Hughes, our common buddy, and we had a lot of fun. And in fact, I was thinking we might just call the bird dog in to come down and pick you up if you need a lift.
Mike would do it. Mike would definitely do it.
He would just say, I'm on it. He'd be down here in a minute. So what a wonderful aviator he is, and a personality that
he's a great friend,
knows everybody.
Yeah. And it's a funny story, his bird dog, he painted it back in the early 1970s. It's blue and orange. It is the exact inverse paint scheme as my Warner Sportster. And
I've seen you guys flying in formation together, so I didn't pick that up, but now that you say that, it makes a lot of sense.
It was the inspiration for his paint scheme, and then 40 years later, we've become good friends. We do a lot of flying together.
Yeah, it's a wonderful group of people. We had a really nice catch up here with Cliff. He's getting his fuel paid for, making a quick pit stop, and then he's going to make his way up, as he talked about, across the Chesapeake Bay and up to Salisbury, hopefully this afternoon. Still got a beautiful day here. A little bit windy here, and he's probably got a little bit of headwind to get across the bay, but I know he'll do just fine. Great conversation, great organization, Operation High Flight. As I talked about, we're going to get a chance to meet up with Cliff and see him in action up there in Maryland here in probably another month. And I'm also looking forward to that chance to get up and see his new hangar and his team there, and what really super things they're doing for the community and all of those around him. Thanks for joining us today, and join us in our next old Fly Guy conversation.